Are you a little confused about SEO, what it is and what it has to do with your website? Well, today we're going to talk to a local expert about SEO and cut through some of the noise so you can figure out how to be found on Google.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. Our unique team helps small businesses grow by providing essential marketing expertise.
Hello and welcome to the Marketing Essentials podcast. My name is Bill from W.Parmentier Photography.
I'm Justin from Justin Kerr Design.
I'm Alicia with the Spark Social.
And together we make up
the Marketing Essentials team.
So today, what are we going to talk about, guys?
We're going to talk about SEO. And no, that's not a breakfast cereal.
It's not Old MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O?
No. S-E-S-E-O?
S-E-S-E-O?
No.
Okay.
It actually stands for Search Engine Optimization. And the acronym's been around for a long, long time. But I think a lot of people assume they know what SEO is. Yeah. And so today on the podcast, we're going to cut through a lot of the noise. We're going to get right down to what is SEO. But more importantly, we're going to talk about what does it have to do with your website?
Sure.
All right.
I would imagine it's an important part of your website.
Absolutely, because if you can build a website, it's very easy to do. But just building a website and putting it out there on the internet, if nobody can find you, you've just wasted your time.
Sure.
So, and not just be found, but found locally. So we're fortunate enough today to have with us an expert on SEO. Bill Smith is the founder of Boston SEO and a nationally recognized expert on helping local, national, and international companies improve their organic search rankings. Bill created his first business website way back in 2001, and since then has helped many different businesses with their internet marketing and search rankings on Google, YouTube, Amazon, eBay, Bing, Yahoo, and many others. So thanks for joining us today, Bill.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We got two Bills in the booth today.
Yep, yeah. And I'm not to be confused with Will Smith because people call me Will Smith. But they're very disappointed when they see me. Bill Smith.
It's because you can't rap, right?
So you're not the
I can rap. I'll rap a little bit if you want.
Rap about SEO.
I have an SEO rap.
Oh, that's awesome. We might need to have that on the podcast.
Maybe the next time.
He's the Fresh Prince of SEO.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
All right.
So, Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the SEO business.
So I got started in SEO, probably like a lot of other people. I had another business that was unrelated to marketing at all. I had a mobile fleet service company. And in 2001, someone said, oh, you should build a website for it. So I built a website and just had it up there. I built it myself. I didn't know anything about it. I built it on Microsoft Front Page was the name of it.
Oh, wow. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
2001. That's like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Digital world, right?
Digital world. It is. And man, it was a terrible website. You can still see it. Like you can go to archive.org and probably see it.
Did it have like a flashing type or anything on it like that?
I don't think so. I don't think it did.
But I bet it had a web counter, a page counter at the bottom.
Oh, it did. It actually did, yeah.
Probably had hundreds of banner ads too, right?
Maybe eventually. It might have got hacked at some point. But so 2003, I'm like, geez, I have this website sitting around. No one ever comes to it. So I just started doing some research on how to get people to my website. Started learning about SEO. It was a lot different back in 2003. Mm-hmm. Started working on that, and I enjoyed that, doing that more than actually doing what I was doing. So throughout the years, I still had that mobile fleet service company, but I was doing digital marketing on the side. Back then, I was doing mostly what they call affiliate marketing, so making money online, promoting other people's products. Then in right around 2010 or so, I started building websites for local businesses, but not actually for a local business, but I built a local website, say for a dentist, and get it all ranked, put it up there in Google, and then rent it out to a dentist. So I'd put there, I'm talking with my hands if anyone's
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm part Italian, so.
I do it too.
So then I was building websites, like a local business website, like a dentist and attorneys and stuff like that. And then I'd get them ranked and just rent them out to them. then it just turned into, well, they didn't want to rent them anymore. So they said, can you do this for our business? So that's how I started working with clients in 2012, 2013. I really started doing that full time. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into it.
Wow.
I love it. It's like a puzzle, it's fun for me. So.
And you've probably seen it change so much from 2001 to do you even remember in 2001, what were the top ways to get traffic to your website? I mean,
pretty much just spamming, like burying keywords in your website. It was just like all black hat stuff really, but it wasn't at the time because, and that's what I tell people. They're like, oh, you do white hat, black hat. It's like right today, what I'm doing, it's white hat. Tomorrow, if Google decides that it's against their terms of service, it's black hat. So.
Yeah, I think we should probably break that out for a second. So white hat is stuff that Google.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We just want to make sure we dumb it down for. Yeah. I say dumb it down, but just
dumb it down for us, basically.
For us, yes.
Our audience is really smart. We're the morons.
That's where I was going. Dumbing it down for us. But yeah, I mean, most people don't realize that black hat is stuff that Google kind of frowns upon.
Right.
Whereas white hat is stuff that they allow you to do.
Right. Correct. And they can change their mind at any second.
Yes.
Right.
So if you're doing something, I'm doing everything according to their terms of service. And back then, there were really no terms of service. There wasn't much going on. So
there was also other search engines besides Google.
Yeah,
Google didn't own the planet. So.
Right, yeah, it was a little different. Exactly.
Yeah, most of those are gone now or
Web Crawler, Alta Vista. Yeah,
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, yeah.
I use that one all the time. But so you said it's kind of like you enjoy solving puzzles, and that relates back to your work. And, you were saying Google changes stuff. Like how do you stay up to date, and how do you keep solving these puzzles with the SEO side of things for businesses?
Well, I mean, there's constant changes in Google, but not all the changes affect every website. I have a lot of websites myself personally, so I can use those for like my testing and things like that. And then, just staying up to date with, I like people ask like, oh, what do you use to stay up to date? Like, do you read Search Engine Journal or I can't even think of it, Search Engine Land, but those websites, if they don't have news to report about, they kind of, what are they going to do? That's what they do. So there's always some sort of news, a lot of fluff. And so there's really, for a website SEO, it really hasn't changed a lot. Like there's like 3 or 4 basic things you need on a website, and then the rest, like on your website, and then the rest of it's more like linking strategy and where you're going to get links from and stuff like that. And just it's more just staying natural. It's not. I mean, there's a puzzle, so there's a lot of research. It's not. So every website's a little different, even if it's the same. If it's an attorney, even if it was 2 attorneys in Providence, same industry and everything, their websites are different because they have different links going to them. So the links are like a vote for your website. So another website that links to your website. So if you follow that little link that you click and it takes you to another place, another website, that's a backlink. So all the backlink profiles are different. So then looking at Google kind of tells you, it's like playing 10 card poker, but they're showing you their cards because you can see the top 10 results in Google, and then just analyzing those websites and seeing what Google likes. That's pretty much what I do. There's a lot of analysis to it.
So are there specific tools that you use to figure out which one of those top keywords are top trending things?
Google. I mean, Google's, I mean, I use paid tools, but doing a Google search is a great way to do it. There's like different search operators you can use in Google and stuff like that. But I mean, if I was looking for a personal injury attorney in Providence, I can see those 10 results in Google.
Gotcha.
And then I can look at, I have different search operators. Is that what they call them? Yeah, search. So like if you're looking at a certain site, so I find Bob's personal injury attorney or whatever. So I would put like the site operator. So it's site and then colon, then that attorney. And I can see all the pages on the site. But I can also say, I want to see everything that doesn't have that domain in it. And that's how I can kind of see his links. So
gotcha.
I can see all the websites that mention his website and just the links to it.
Wow. I didn't know that was even possible.
Yeah. And a lot of these tools, there's a tool called SEMrush. I use that a lot. That's a paid tool. But that's kind of all they work off of, really, is those search operators.
So we've had, in the last few minutes, we've had a lot of terms flying around.
I know. Sorry.
But that's okay. Basically, your job is to not just optimize the website itself. You said there were 3 things that you basically do to optimize the website internally.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at, outside of that, everything that's connected to that website and where it lives and what's around it. Right.
Yep.
So that's important in knowing, like, okay, who's connected to this site? How are they connected to it? Is it positioned so that if someone's doing a search for, Bob's personal injury law firm, they'll be able to find that. And the key there is local, right? So if I'm looking for a service and I'm searching on Google, Google knows I'm located in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yep.
So it's not going to show me results from California. It's going to show me results based on where I am. So getting your site optimized, it's important to make sure that you can be found locally. It's not about being ranked nationally. If
you're a national
It
company,
depends.
though.
Yeah, it depends. But for a local business, you want to tell, those are the things you want to tell Google on your website.
Right.
So you want to have your address, you're always important that, make sure your business name, your address, and phone number are on the website, because that tells Google that you're a local business.
Right. And most of our listeners are
Local.
small local businesses. If we have any national businesses out there listening to the podcast, thank you for listening.
Right.
And how do you feel
think,
like being a
like,
sponsor? I mean,
The listeners need to understand that there's a difference. I think there's a difference between local SEO and national SEO.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And will you work on both types of campaigns, or?
I do mostly local now,
Yeah.
but I used to do that. I just get burnt out with doing e-commerce. I'll do it for myself, but I don't really take e-commerce clients on anymore.
Okay.
It's more fun working with local businesses.
Gotcha.
Just working with a big company and
And that's typically like our listener is local, and
Right.
you get better stories, better feedback from a local business.
Sure.
So the 3 things that you would do for inside a website to get it optimized, what are those 3 things?
Are they secret?
So there's 200 ranking factors, on-page ranking factors that Google recognizes for your website.
Okay.
But there's really only like a few that really move the needle the most.
All right.
First of all, before you even touch the website, doing your research, like what are you trying to be optimized for? Because I see it all the time where, I had this company do my on-page optimization, but what did they optimize it for? I mean, you can check off all the boxes, right? Have like correct page title lengths and description, but if you don't know what you're doing it for, then it's not going to help you.
Sure.
So you mean in the terms of like the way people search, not just what you think you should be optimized for, or?
Yeah, I would look at what people search for. So, and it could be both, right? It could be that it's the same thing, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, more people search for, personal injury attorney, or are they looking for like car accident lawyer, or those are the type of things. And usually the homepage of your website's like the main theme of your website. Some attorneys cover a lot of practice areas, so that might be where they're just kind of generally doing things, and then they have a page for each different practice area. But knowing what you're trying to optimize for first.
Right. So same for a lot of the marketing advice we give. Know your audience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Start with your audience.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Well, that's the first step before you even get to the 3, because you have to know what you're going to do.
Okay.
And then it's pretty simple. Page title. Page title is like really big.
And when you say page title, like someone's building their own website,
that would be the metadata. So so when you do a Google search and you're in that results page, the big blue link is the page title.
All right.
So that's a good clue right there, because if you do personal injury attorney and you look at all those results and you look at the commonalities in those, like what do those top 10 have? Like is it, do they have Providence in there? Do they know, so that's something to look at is those results too, and seeing what their page titles are, because those page titles are probably good, especially if they're all pretty similar. So you'd want to do that. Then the description still plays a part. That's the metadata too. So in the metadata section, wherever it is, depending on what type of website you're using,
Mhm.
If it's WordPress, a lot of people use like Yoast SEO. You can fill that out there. So having, your keyword in your description, or we call it LSI keyword. Like, so it's almost like a synonym
Okay.
or something that it kind of means the same. So attorney, you could use lawyer, or like car crash could be auto accident, something like that, right? So
Okay.
it kind of varying it a little bit in the description too. The other thing that's a big factor is the structure of URLs. So if it's a home page, there's not much. Whatever your business name is, whatever your website name is.
And the URL is that's what shows up in the window on your browser.
Yeah, your
when you're
address,
typing
yeah.
in the address, right?
Yeah. So, and there's two different things. So there's your domain is part of your URL, right? So your domain is whatever, bobspersonalinjury.com.
Right.
But then those other pages, like, so if he is that practices different types of law, so you would want your personal injury page, you want that part of your URL where it says bobspersonalinjury.com bobslawyers.com. We can't, / personal injury. So that tells, and Google's really, in ways it's sophisticated, in ways it's not, so it looks at that and says, oh, there's personal injury. The title of the page is personal injury. The description has personal injury. The content, just write good content. You don't try to stuff keywords in there like 2001.
Yeah, I was going to say back then it was a big thing.
Yeah, you just stuff keywords all over.
You were writing your content for a bot instead of writing it for a human. And now when we make recommendations, we write for a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's harder.
Yeah, well, plus Google's catching on to it too. They know when you're faking it.
Yeah, and then the actual content is a factor, but it's not those other ones are actually bigger factors than the actual content is.
So we're talking about the URL, the address, and you have all of your subpages. So your homepage is, bobspersonalinjury.com. What I see a lot is people just use the generic, about us and, history. Right. Those are super, super generic.
Yeah, exactly.
So for those, I would imagine you'd recommend something a little bit more specific, a little bit more personalized.
Exactly, even if it was about our law firm, at least you're getting something in there, right?
Right, instead of about us, which has got to be, a trillion of those out there.
Yeah, exactly. And same with the homepage. You don't really need home there. That doesn't really do anything for you.
Right. It should say something about your business.
Yeah. And if it's multi-practice, maybe it's, Bob's Law, and, he can mention all those, a lot of the things he does, his main things.
Right.
Now, is there a limit as to how long of a?
Yeah, there is. What is it? I can't. The character length has changed, but I don't really. What I tell people is put your most important stuff at the front. Mm-hmm. That's really the big thing.
Do you think that long tail keyword, using so for instance, how to or something like that, would that help in the URL, or should it just be very basic in the URL? Kind of asking.
So with that type of stuff, I would save it for content strategy.
Gotcha.
And answering questions is huge.
Okay.
For local business with content, I would more write about your area, because it gives you more relevance. Because if you're not doing anything if it's how to, how to get your carpets clean in your carpet cleaning company, and you're writing that, and then someone from California calls, it's really not going to help you.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So if you're writing about your area, it actually gives you more relevance that way. And you can still put stuff in there, but yeah, answering questions in Google is huge. It's just do a question search, and it will give you all these recommendations too. So those are good. When it says how to clean a carpet, and then underneath it might have people also ask how to do it without chemicals, how to, that type of stuff is, if you're writing a piece of content about how to clean a carpet,
then answer those questions in your content.
Yeah, you get a big boost for that.
Oh, that's a great tip.
And it actually gives you a chance to get it. There's another thing called, what we call it position zero. So when you answer a question, Google doesn't want you to leave Google. So they'll put you've probably seen it where they'll put just the answer right there in Google.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of how you do that type of stuff.
Yeah, I just had a screen up for our last podcast and it just had the definition, some statistics of what I was searching for right there.
Yeah,
on Google. Yeah. So very, very interesting.
How much do you educate or train your clients? Because obviously you're providing a service, you're showing them and helping them optimize their website. But for, after you get everything set up, how much time do you spend saying, okay, look, going forward, here's the things you need to know and pay attention to?
It really depends on how much they want to be involved. Some people just, they don't want to, they just, it
Just
really,
do it, Bill. I don't want to know anything.
yeah, it really does depend. I mean, that's the honest answer. I love talking about this stuff, so I could talk to them until they, give up. But
Right.
yeah, I give these tips out, like, especially with content. I tell people just, if you're not afraid to pull out your phone and just do a video and talk about whatever you talk about, then have it transcribed. You can, there's your content for your blog. You can put the video there,
Okay.
put the video on YouTube. It'll give you a lot of credit. But yeah, I mean, it really depends. It really depends, how involved they want to be.
And it sounds like Google rewards those who put in the work. So you say how involved they want to be. If they're not going to be involved, then I'm assuming you take the work and get most of it.
Right. Yeah.
But
local business is a little different. It's a little less of doing content. Content for local business a lot of times is just if it's like a company doing it.
mm-hmm.
Unless you're writing, there's good things to do. Like I said, write about your areas you're in, or write about something that's happening in your city. But just to write content, sometimes it's just like they're doing it just to do it, look like they're doing something. I just tell people that's not. I don't do things just to look busy.
Gotcha.
I want to get you traffic. That's
Yeah, I think you'd want to be purposeful about it. I mean, we were talking earlier before about trying to game Google in the early days. It's like, you're wasting your time. It's like, just do what's best for your business. And if you optimize your site correctly, you'll be rewarded. You'll be found. You'll be found locally.
right.
Unfortunately, there's too many people out there nowadays that still think it's a good thing to try to game Google.
Yeah. Well, Bill, you and I were having a conversation, sort of getting ready for the podcast today. And I said, I run into a lot of SEO people that their pitch is, I can make you number one on Google. I can do this for you. I can do that. And I find it's really difficult to find someone like yourself who just is honest about, look, I'm going to do the best I can to get your site optimized and found, but there's no magic bullet. There's no one answer for everybody.
Exactly. No, there isn't.
So what would you say, as sort of a warning to people who are constantly getting marketed to by SEO people?
I get it myself.
So what are some of the red flags that
I can make you number one? Because I mean, I'm always going for number one, right? Like if I have a client, of course I'm going for that, but I can't guarantee that. Right. Because I can't guarantee that. I don't know what Google's going to do.
Well, if you've got four clients that are all attorneys, all personal injury attorneys, how can you guarantee any of them going to be number one? Because they're all competing against each other.
Yeah, well, I don't do. Yeah, that's another thing I don't do is, and it's nothing legal or anything. But for me, I have a personal injury attorney client in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I won't take another personal injury client in Boston.
Okay.
Because then I'm just competing with myself.
Be a conflict. Okay.
For me, because there's law marketing firms out there, and I can pick them out, like even just in a Google search, because all their descriptions are written the same. It's all the same format, and I can say, oh, this company did the SEO on all of these. So how do they decide if there's, in a small city like Brockton, I had a client, and they, this company had five attorneys, personal injury, that they were doing SEO for. And so how do they decide who's going to be number one?
Right. And like you said, they're writing the same content for all the different clients.
Yeah, the content, the page titles, because they're not putting thought into it. They just here's a format we're going to use for everything, because it's more efficient for them. But
and that's not even using duplicate content. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but that's not even neutral, as in, well, this stinks, it's not getting me ahead. But if you're duplicating content from one website to another, it's actually going to be negative, right? Like Google's going to hit you for that.
Well, I'm not saying they use duplicate content like this company.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah, there is, but this duplicate content isn't like as crazy as people make it out to be, because another way to say it is like curated content. So if I find an interesting article, if I'm giving credit to I'm not playing it off as mine, and I would recommend, if you're going to do that, write a little bit of a paragraph about, oh, here's an article I found, and this is what they talked about, in case they don't want to read the whole thing. But then you have to give credit to the original content. Right.
So I saw a situation where a company was buying newsletter content it was like industry specific, but like his competitors were buying the same newsletter, and they can use it on their website. So it was the exact same blog page throughout the same area, same exact word for word.
So it's a weird thing when it comes to that type of stuff. Like for ranking, Google's only going to rank one. Usually it only ranks one of those if it's the same content, but it doesn't go by who had it first.
Wow. Mysterious Google.
It goes by the authority of the website. So if this website put it up second and they have higher authority, they're going to get usually going to get credit. It's not always 100%, but that's.
Before we getting close to where we need to wrap up, but I wanted to ask you about when I read your bio, it said that you were helping people optimize their content, not just for Google, but for some of the other platforms as well. So it's like for YouTube, and I think eBay was mentioned in there.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. So how are you helping them in regards to those other channels?
Well, it depends. I mean, so the Amazon, they have a different algorithm, the A8 algorithm. So it's based off of different things, just figuring out that puzzle.
Okay.
Amazon algorithms based a lot on reviews.
Okay.
So that's why, you've probably heard in the news, like there's a lot of fake reviews out there on stuff. So that's because people, that's what ranks Amazon products. What other one were you saying? Oh, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube's similar to Google in a lot of ways, but same type, like with YouTube, page title, answering questions on YouTube, like having your title. I actually, right before this, one of my clients.
Now, you don't mean like responding to comments, but.
No, but I would do that. I would definitely do that.
Oh, okay. That helps too.
But titling your video of a question. So doing some research on what kind of content, I should be putting out. What are people asking? Like on doing just a Google search and, how to change a flat tire or whatever. Like someone will go there.
Right.
So if you're answering that question, and YouTube's algorithms changed over the past couple of years where you can have a brand new video and you can get a lot of traffic on it because now they put the latest videos. So if someone will search for something, like you have an opportunity to show up in that latest videos.
Oh, really?
But one thing before we wrap up, because there's one really important thing I want to tell people is if you have your website, even if you don't do any optimization to it, you have to, it doesn't cost you anything. Put Google Analytics on there and Google Search Console, because for someone like me, if they're having problems with their website and they come in, that's like a really good diagnostic tool. Because this client I just had a meeting with, she had a company do work for her, and she lost 90% of her traffic to her website.
Whoa. Wow.
And I could figure it out pretty easy because I could see the pages that got the most traffic and then change the URLs to something ridiculous. So I just changed them back and it's back. It doesn't always happen that quick, but within a week.
But if she hadn't had Google Analytics connected to her
site, I would have been very confused. Yeah, it would have taken me a lot longer to figure it out.
All right. No, that's an excellent hot tip.
Yeah, analytics.
First thing when you build your website, connect it to Google Analytics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome. That's really good stuff, Bill. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So if someone wants to find you through Google search,
you just type Boston SEO.
BostonSEO.com.
Oh, you can just Google Boston SEO.
Because you're ranked number one.
I'm the guy.
Well, there you have it.
Bill Smith SEO, not Will Smith SEO. You can probably find
that's a whole different thing. Will Smith, right? Yeah.
See my rap.
So do you have a rap video up there?
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks for showing up and talking about SEO with us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that wraps it up for us for another episode. And until next time,
we'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. And as always, you can find the back episodes of our podcast on Apple Podcasts. And you can also find us on our YouTube channel. Both of them are the Marketing Essentials team.
You can find us on the web at marketingessentialsteam.com. And if you subscribe through our website, you'll receive a weekly email and letting you know when each episode has been published. Also, you'll receive a link to subscriber-only content.
You can also find us on Facebook and our private Facebook group. Just search Little Roadie Marketing Support Group. It's a great place for other marketing professionals and business owners where we can share marketing advice, challenges, and general trends. Hope to see you there.